Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to RaceRoom, the racing experience, and welcome to a little GT3 racing from Francorchamps. So we qualified P6, race just started, and man, I have to tell you, this is, for the moment, this is, I think my favorite race sim. And let me tell you why, there's several reasons. So that's us right there, in the Ford. You know, I'm a big Ford fan. Something that I wouldn't say that I don't like it about this game, but this game is very realistic in, well, we'll get into physics and sound and AI and everything in a minute, but this game is very realistic in its depiction of the various race series that it represents. So you get your own name, but you race someone else's team and someone else's number. Which is, I mean, it's not a deal breaker by any means, but it's, yeah, you know, something to think about. So we're in GT3, we've got a 29 car field, and we're holding 60 FPS on the replay. I am amazed by that. Graphics are not, I mean, it's not, you know, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm not complaining. You know, take my glasses off and that looks like TV coverage. So, what else can I tell you before we get into, like, the nuts and bolts of it? There was one other thing. I'm completely forgetting it. But at any rate, so the thing that is the most, I think for me right now, the most impressive about this game is the AI. And I'm going to wait until we started P6, we're in P6, I want to say, yep. And I'm going to wait until, because we make a couple of passes here, but you'll start to see some things from the AI that is just like, what? It's in a good way, right? So there's a little bobble right there, and we sneak past that guy. That is, to me, that is so immersive and realistic. And then we even had a bit of a drag race there, and they backed off. And something that I've been wondering about AI for the longest time is it possible to code into AI a different way to drive based on what else is going on? And by that I mean, like, it's an 8-lap race. We just started, right? So everybody's kind of getting settled, kind of, you know, getting themselves together. Check this out. Look at this run I get down Camel. What? So we took P5 going into the bus stop, and we just went from P4 to P2. Take that, thank you very much. So I guess what I'm saying is it possible, because when you're in, look at this guy, when you're in iRacing, right, everybody's got sort of a different agenda as far as how they're handling themselves. So you've got people that are just protecting, right? Maybe somebody protecting a points lead, and they need to finish like P5 or better to win a championship. So they don't care about fighting for first. They're not going to risk getting put in the wall, right? They're take first. You take first, take second. You see what I mean? So they're not as competitive. So you got all kinds of different ways of racing. And I don't mean technically. Some people brake early, some people brake late, some people accelerate off the apex, some people, you know. I don't mean that. I mean like the actual sort of goal that you have for how you're driving. So you got, you see that little tap right there? Just a little tap and he got around me. That to me is extremely immersive. I love that. But going back to what I was saying a second ago, you've got the sandbagger, you've got the rope-a-dope, you've got the rabbit, you know, you've got the red mist, you've got the spoiler. Like, you've got a lot of people doing a lot of different things in a race. Not just how they're technically racing, but like what it is that they're trying to do as far as, you know, bigger goals. And then on top of that, it's going to depend on where in the race you are as to how they handle themselves. So I'm curious if anybody's coded that into AI yet. I'm going to hop in car if I can get it. Yeah. Let's hop in car. Yeah, the other thing that's fantastic about this game is the sound. The sound in this game is just unbelievable. It's got, there's so many layers to it. It just, yep. I got through it. I got through it. It's tricky, man, and I swear I can feel some aerodynamic effect in this game. I can feel decreased downforce when you're chasing somebody through some corners. Right, so check this out. You talk about AI. Talk about maybe the best AI in any race sim. First and second are racing each other. They're not just in line. You know what I mean? Procession racing. Like, they're actually racing each other. And you remember, and I'm sorry, I don't know names or numbers, and there's just, it's too much to remember. I just came out of MotoGP. My brain is full right now. So I can't tell you the names of these two drivers that are in front of me. We'll just call them P1 and P2 for now. You remember P1 was P3 was behind me and tapped me in Francorchamps previous lap and got around, and then they just moved up to P1. So it's really, really cool, and it's really immersive because the only decent lobbies that I've ever found are iRacing. And I'm working my way up. I'm up to C license in road, and I'm just about to get up to a B license, but the thing is, I don't have enough time to consistently practice in iRacing. And the thing about iRacing is, as you climb the ladder, as you move up license classes, you really have to practice before a race. Like, you can't just hop in and go, particularly when it's a series and you race on the tracks that are up. You know, you don't race like this race. I just hopped on Francorchamps because I've been thinking about it. But in iRacing, you race where the series goes next, and if you don't know that track, you might need to get 100 or 150 practice laps in to be competitive. Again, at that C license or B license level, you can't just hop in. I mean, maybe in rookies or D, maybe, but you get what I'm saying. So I feel like I don't have the time. Okay, right there, that little bobble, that just cost me the pass that I was about to make in Rouge. So that is, to me, that is very realistic AI, where they are consistent enough from lap to lap that little bobble just cost me the pass that I wanted to make. And I feel like I could have got a run on them, because I've had good runs out of Rouge up into Camel, and I had that bobble coming out of La Source, and that was it, right? Like, there goes your lap. I really like that. And I guess the way that I apply that to sports car racing, you know, when I think about F1 or Rallycross, or I'm trying to think of other very short, sort of intense races, there's almost a kind of a chaotic or frantic vibe to it. And when I think about sports car racing, and then particularly endurance car racing, to me it's much more businesslike. We got plenty of time, you know, never force the pass, just be patient, take care of the car, you will have opportunities, they will make a mistake. And this game, I feel, captures that with the AI really, really well, because right there, like, that bobble coming out of La Source, that's it. There goes your lap. So you tee it up for the next lap. Don't get stupid. Don't get in a hurry. You blew it, right? Like, that's where my passing opportunity is Rouge and Camel. And I didn't set it up properly. I just have to let it go for this lap. So that is, to me, that's awesome. I love that. And, you know, the other thing that I like about this sim, and I do get it in other sims, I get it in iRacing, but I really get it in this sim more than any other. When we go back to, we'll go external cam here in a minute again, but I just wanted to show you like what this looks and sounds like when you're dicing with the AI. It's that good. I hate coming out of bus stop in first gear. I would prefer second gear, but slow down like that. Like, if there's no traffic in front of me, I go through bus stop in second gear. Bus stop and La Source both in second gear, because I don't want to spin out. So right, trying to tee it up trying to tee it up. No bobble that time. Everything is right. Everything's exactly where I want it. So something about this sim, like the way that it sort of captures these... I keep saying captured. I do that sometimes. I realize I'm doing it. I wouldn't say it's like okay, but you know, it is what it is. Here's my run. Here's my run. Just didn't quite get it. Didn't quite get it. When you watch TV coverage of these races, or even when we go back external camera, like you'll see the places that the cars kind of run wide. And in iRacing and in this sim, in RaceRoom, it's one of the only sims where that all makes perfect sense, right? Like where the car just very naturally, like right there, just drift out to the ripple strips. It just very, very naturally happens. And I feel like there's other sims where you sort of need to almost put the car there to duplicate the line that you see when you're watching TV coverage. And I'm not being an ass when I say that, but there are sims where it feels like the natural physics of the car and the track just doesn't match up with what you know real cars do in real life on that track. So I'll show you I guess the classic one. I'm trying to block this guy behind me. So I'm straight up trying to block him. Like there's no... I'm not defending my line. I'm trying to block that guy. Little tap, just a little tap. So right here on Francorchamps, coming down right here, right? Throw it to the inside, and then it just hazes right out onto the ripple strip. And you don't put it there, it just goes there. And I know that's the line that real cars tend to take through there, and they do tend to drift outside, particularly late racer on old tires. They do tend to drift out to the ripple. And to feel that in a sim, I think is... immersive is the only word I can use. Let's go back to TV coverage. Because we're fixing... things are fixing to get interesting here. Yeah. That's why I stay in second coming out of the source. But not only did I blow it right there as far as getting my pass, but I got problems now because I got the pain train right behind me. And then, yeah, drift to the outside. It's a great sim, man. If you haven't tried it, check it out. And it's free. And it comes with, well, I say free. It's free. It comes with a few cars and a few tracks, and then you just buy whatever you want. So whatever it is that you're into, that's what you get. Oh, son of a... But you know what? Fair's fair. Now this is not too cool, what I just did right there. And they would probably ding me all kinds of nasty words. But it sucks, but it's immersive. Because, you know what, I really should have given that 911, I believe it was either a 911 or a roof. I really should have given that 911 more room. And if you want to have some fun, go on your favorite search engine, whichever one you prefer, and type in RaceRoom Racing Experience Bad AI or AI Sucks or something. Right? And check out some of the threads. And the thread always starts with somebody saying, OMG, RaceRoom has the worst AI I've ever seen. Here's a YouTube clip of how bad the AI is. And then immediately that person will get lit up because of all the things that they are doing to cause those shunts, right? Like immediately people are like, well, you dive bombed that guy and you didn't have control of the car to stay on the apex. Like, what's he supposed to do? Drive off track? Just keep going straight so that you can drift through a corner? You know, of course he tapped you. You got inside him way too hot, way too fast, and you were drifting out. If you can't go through a turn side by side, then you're going too fast. And various things like that. Or I've read one where a guy said, you know, you tried to wipe his nose, which is term that you hear every now and then, not too often, that's an old school term. Tried to wipe his nose. Of course he put you on the wall. And I'm not suggesting that the AI like gets mad or has personality, but it seems to be, this is a little dicey, it seems to be really, really well programmed, and I would call it, for my money, the best AI that I've ever raced. And I think the only thing better is iRacing, because that's not AI, that's just that's just other people. And the advantage, I think, of iRacing that makes it so awesome is you don't just get the racing styles of other people, you get all their personalities too. And that is, if you want to race, iRacing is just where it's at. There's nothing else. And I have heard rumors that they're going to bring AI into iRacing, and honestly, I hope they don't. I think the whole charm of the game is that you race other people. But then, other than iRacing, I'm only single player, and I have been searching for good AI. And I mean, R Factor is really good. Assetto Corsa is pretty good. Compared to this, it's okay. But R Factor is pretty good. RaceRoom racing experience, though, I have to say, having spent some time in the game, best AI, I think. So let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about that. And let me know what you think about AI in iRacing as well. I don't know if that's a direction that we want to go in. I think they could tune up the graphics a little bit. I think they could make it more affordable. But for the most part, I think AI is pretty dialed, and I hope they don't mess with it. I've heard, and the conversations that I saw were a little bit dated. So I don't know if this has happened or has not, but I heard that they were going to try to make it so that you could not play iRacing on a gamepad, that it was wheel only. And I don't know if they were able to do that. And I don't know, I mean, I think they should, and that kind of sucks. But you can get a wheel on Craigslist or eBay for, you know, 60 bucks. If you can afford iRacing, you can afford a wheel, is a comment that I saw over and over. I don't know that I 100% agree with that, but I certainly see where people are coming from. But I think that is, it. Like I said, it sucks. It sucks if you can't afford a wheel. But at the same time, I think for all the people and all the money that they've invested in cars and tracks and all the time that they've put into being good iRacers, I think that actually is fair, because it's just impossible to control the car accurately when you're sharing a track with people on wheels. It's really hard to control the car to that level with a gamepad. And I know, because I'm on, like right now in RaceRoom, I'm on a gamepad because my wheel is put away, and this is one of only maybe one or two sims I have that is still set up for gamepad. My other sims that are set up for wheel, I don't want to go back to gamepad on them and sort of break my mojo. But I've done both, and there's no comparison. We're in adaptive AI right now, and I'm able to be competitive on a gamepad. But I would never, even if, well, I've never tried it, so I can't say whether or not it is even like permissible to do it, whether you can still technically use a gamepad on iRacing. But even if I knew that I could, I never would. I never would. It's just not fair to all the other people and all the effort that they've put into building up their iRating and building up their safety rating using a wheel. So yeah, man, I think we're just about done. We got bumped back to like I think we got bumped back to about P11, and then we made up a couple of positions, but we're P9, holding up the paint train here. I think we took a little damage, but we're holding everybody off. I feel bad in a way, even though they're just scripts. They're not real people in those cars. Part of me is like, I feel like Truly, you know? I'm just holding everybody up. I'm making a Truly train, but what to do, you know? We're racing for position. If that cat wants to pass, he's got to make the pass happen. I'm not going to give it to him. So, but I do think this is last lap. And yeah, man, I definitely recommend this game. And the other thing that I really can recommend about it is it's free. Just go to Steam and download it. And then if you like it, get more cars, get more tracks. But if you just want to race with like the base game stuff, you're all set. Oh, and I know, like, I totally know my line is not... My line needs work. There we go. That's the end. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of RaceRoom Racing Experience from Spa-Francorchamps. And we'll see you next time. Did it just freeze? Come on, man. Come on. Oh, it's froze. Right on. It's a hell of a way to end an episode. There it goes. Folks, we'll see you next time. Take care now.